Hello and welcome. My name is Kieran Shepherd from KGStudio.co.uk, and today I'll be teaching you how to make a simple one-page website using WordPress and Elementor Pro. So in front of us is the website that we'll be building. It's a no-frills kind of site within the fitness niche, specifically personal training and weight loss. As you can see, it's basic, but for a beginner like yourself, it'd be good to practice your skills so you get better and more confident at producing websites. So here we are. Here's a fresh WordPress dashboard after you install your domain and log into your site. So just check it out. This is completely empty. This is the out-of-the-box site that you get once you've finished installing WordPress. So now it's time to glam this bad boy up. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll install our theme, right? So what you want to do is go over to the sidebar here and go down to Appearance, Themes. Once you click that, go to the top, you'll see a button, press Add New. You can upload a theme using a zip file if you've downloaded it, or you can search it over here. What we'll be using is a Hello theme. This is a bare, basic, absolute minimum theme. It's essentially just blank pages, but it'll keep your site moving quickly, which is what you want. You don't want a slow loading website, as I've mentioned in my previous video. So let's install that. It shouldn't take too long. Boom, activate that. And what we'll do is, whilst we're in this section, is we'll remove all the other themes that you won't be using. This can slow down your website just a little bit. So we'll get rid of those. And so now, if we view our site, you can see it's just a blank website, so nothing too special. First and foremost, what we're going to do is this will display on our site, and we don't want that. So if you click Customize up here, this will open up a little menu on the side. Now, you go in Site Identity, we can remove this. Oops. We can remove this and remove this. Don't worry about this. This will be back. As you can see on my site, I have a little moon that's actually imported from my KGStudio site. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a favicon. Usually you do this later down the line, but since we're in the menu, it's best to push it out. So if you click Site Icon, this will bring you to the file uploader. This is where you will upload your images and videos, so get used to it. Click Select Files. I have everything on my hard drive. All of these files will be available for you to download using a link in the comments box, so you can follow along and we can build the site together. So we're going to use the dumbbell PNG. It's a little bit bigger than recommended, but it should be okay. So if we click that, and we can go back and publish. It's beautiful. As you can see, it's changed our favicon up here. So now what we want to do is we'll go back to our dashboard, and now we're going to start installing the just the gems of using WordPress, the plugins. We can close this. So we go into plugins. Obviously right now, I believe there's probably 2 plugins that we don't need to use. So we can click those and delete. The Akismet anti-spam is okay if you're running a blog. Just because it'll remove spam, but for a one-page website, it's not exactly needed, so don't worry about that. And we click Add New. You could click up here as well, but that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to use my top plugins. So pretty much these are the plugins that I use across the board on every website that I build. So first and foremost is we want a caching plugin. So I use Lightspeed. Oh my gosh. Lightspeed cache. So this one, it has over 2 million installs and it's 5-star. I mean, can you really argue with that? So click install. And once that's done, you click activate now. Once it's installed, if you notice this will essentially once you're finished building your website, this clears the cache of the website on your server, so that any images that you change, anything like this, will instantly be changed to the rest of the world as well. Because sometimes if your website stores cookies, and so it allows your website to load fast on people who have been on your website before, but if they return, they might see the old images and such. So if you clear the cache, next time they're on your website, they'll see the updated version of it. So you want that, and we're going to add a couple more. We're going to add iThemes security. Oh, thanks for that, Apple. Security. I'm sure it'll come up anyway, it's quite popular. Yep, here we go. 1 million active installs, 4.5 stars. Can't complain about that one either. And essentially what this does is this stops people from trying to brute force your website, trying to hack into it. It's pretty much install it and leave it. You don't need to change too much, which is perfect. So we activate that. And since we'll be adding images to our website, which I'm sure you'll be adding images to every website you build, you want to use a tool called resmush.it. Excuse my typing today, guys. And what this does is basically it compresses your images. So if you upload a 5 MB image, it's going to slow down your site. What this will do is it will compress it. Usually it compresses it into the KB region, which is absolutely perfect for your website. Right, I think these are the main ones. Let me see. Oh, of course. Every website obviously stores cookies. So what you need to do is you need to include a GDPR on your website, which essentially just lets your visitors know that you're collecting cookies. So the next time they return to your website, it'll load faster. And if they enter any information, such and such like this, is especially important if you live in the UK. So what you want to do is you could build this yourself, or I like to be a little bit cheeky and I use the GDPR plugin, which just saves you so much time. This will automatically come on your website. You can change the colors and button, and we'll do that a little bit later. Perfect. I think that's everything. So right now we need to install the name plugin. Oops, I'm checking the plugins I have already. So click add new, don't make my mistake. And then Elementor. And boom, this is the one you want to click. 5 million active users and a 5-star review, which, I mean, I understand why. So hopefully after this tutorial you will as well. You'll find it super easy to use, and yeah, you'll have no problems with it moving forward. So you activate that. We can close this. So I have the pro version. Hopefully if you're watching this video is essential that you have the pro version as well. Otherwise you won't be able to use some of the template blocks that we're going to use. I've created some template blocks that you can install using the link below again. But basically it just makes your life a little bit easier. So we'll get to that once it arises. But for now, I'm going to install the pro version of Elementor. So we go Elementor, go pro. I'll just log into my account. Beautiful. So I'm just going to click up here and download the pro version of Elementor. And then I can go back onto my website. What we do is we'll go into plugins, add new. Upload plugin, choose file. This won't be available in the link below. And then click this, choose for upload, and you install that. And give that a minute to install, shouldn't take too long. There you go. Activate the plugin. And then what you want to do is you're going to have to connect and essentially authenticate it to make sure that you've not got a bad license or you've downloaded it in a way that you shouldn't have. Activate that. That'll be done in a second. And essentially WordPress is just a web builder. There's many web builders out there. Obviously, WordPress uses plugins for it. There are web builders like Wix and things like that, but that's a different conversation, and I don't recommend using those. But For WordPress, a block builder there's another name for them. I would highly recommend using one. Obviously Elementor is my favorite, but there's loads out there. Beaver Builder is another one. But if you're here to watch for the Elementor tutorial. So what we'll do is we're going to create a page. We won't do too much with it. Gutenberg, call this home, and edit with Elementor. Now, to remove this, what you want to do is, well, first, let's not get into that straight away. This is the GDPR plugin. As you can see, it's already working, which is brilliant. So we just click accept all. Over here is your toolbox, right? So the basic version, which includes the free version, essentially, is what you'll get. So we've got all these things here. I'm probably going to cover the basics in a different video. This is more of maybe you've played around just a little bit in Elementor and you're looking to build your first website with it. So I won't cover those right now, but I will be doing a beginner video shortly that covers each and every single one of these tools, so that we can get you a little more confident using the software. So for now, what you want to do to remove this, you want to go to the absolute bottom and click settings, and in page layout, click Elementor full width. And what that'll do is that essentially just remove that, right? So we'll save our draft. Always save. You never know when your computer's just going to crash or might lose connection. So save. And right, so if we look at our website here, we have this big section. Basically, this section here is called the hero section. Think Superman, Batman, people like that. It's the hero section, and this is essentially the first image that your visitors will land on. So you want to make it eye-catching, at least. Again, because this is a fitness niche based website, we've put fitness-based images there. So what you want to do is you want to go in here for this one specifically. Click here, and this will come up with pages. Now these are full page templates. I feel, again, if you're a beginner, these are great to check out, great to play with, just so that you learn the tools a bit better. And again, we're all about gaining that confidence in learning and gaining the knowledge of how to use Elementor and WordPress as a whole. For this tutorial, we won't be doing this. We'll be doing it more from scratch. Maybe in a future tutorial, we can maybe break down the specific kind of website using these templates. But for now, what we're going to do is go into blocks. And again, as I mentioned previously, we're looking for a hero section. So you click that. The hero section that we used on this website is this one right here. Let that load. Sometimes it takes a little while, nothing too crazy, but my internet connection goes up and down sometimes, so bear with me. But yeah, we'll let that load. So once we have the hero section up, what we're going to do is we'll change the text. I'm just going to keep the exact same. We keep the exact same text as what is on our other side here. So get a leaner body in 8 weeks. The first thing you might notice is this little gap here. So we'll change, yours should be on default. We'll change it to full width. Right now it will stay the same, but that brings us to our next thing. I like to build a website in a particular order. I feel at the beginning of my journey, something that I wasn't brilliant on was structuring the build of my website. So I would go in kind of head first, just focused on building the actual website and not really following a structure. And as I started to get in clients and I would follow the same process with them, things would get a little too cluttered and it would take me a lot longer than it needed to build the website. So what I would say is you want to do a structure. The best structure, especially for a one-page website, is from top to bottom. So for this particular site, if we look at it from top to bottom, this is a header. It's an invisible header, which would be the first thing I'm about to teach you now. Then we have the hero section, an about section, a services section, This is a call to action, a CTA. These are incredibly important for all websites, all marketing materials as well. This is what you want for your visitors to click on, and as the name suggests, take action. So whether that be booking a free session or purchasing a product or giving you a call, these are reminders for your visitors to do that. Here we have a little testimonial section, a contact section, and to wrap up the website, a little footer section here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build this header here. The template for this header will actually be in the link below, so you can build it. I would recommend building it alongside me so you actually learn the skills. But if you want to take the easy route, you can download it and just upload it to your own website, as long as you're using Elementor Pro. Otherwise you might not be able to do that. So what we want to do is we want to go here. We're in our pages. Whilst we're here, actually, let me remove these 2 pages. I don't need these, so send those to the trash. And then what we're going to do is going to go in templates, save templates, add new. Now we're making a header, so you want to create a header template. We'll just call it a header. Create. And once again, obviously Elementor offers a comprehensive list of templates for the header section as well. As you can see, there's loads here, but we're not going to do that in this video. We're going to do it from scratch. So what you want to do is to achieve this invisible header. Look, what you want to do is, first of all, if you can see, we have a logo to the left. I was originally going to have an image, but I couldn't find anything that looked spicy, shall we say, so I just went for YouTube Fitness, basically. Simple text, obviously colors and whatnot, and here we have the about, services, and contact page. So we create 4 across, I believe, and then we're going to add a heading. Now, as we were talking about structure of the website, I've already skipped ahead and done something I shouldn't have. So let's change this to YouTube Fitness. We'll change the font. So to change the font, what you want to do is you want to click Style, Typography, Automatic Liz Roboto. We don't want that. We want, we're going to go for a font called Poppins. It's awfully popular in the web design community, but it's a nice font, so I completely understand. So what we're going to do is, before we proceed any further, like I say, I've already taken it a step too far. What you would do is click this little arrow up here where the publish section is, and instead of publishing it, we want to save the draft. Okay? Beautiful, that's saved. Now, so in the 3 bars at the top left, you click this. You want to go in site settings. So what we'll do is we'll open up, and obviously there's a whole bunch of settings here that you want to use. Today we'll probably cover the global colors and fonts, and I think everything else should be fine. You can do buttons, images, and such, but for today's tutorial we won't go into that. So you click on global colors. You're probably thinking, okay, Kieran, so your colors are this orange web, I believe it's called specifically, an Oxford blue. This is not white, this is platinum. And I highly recommend, when you build a website, don't use colors like black or white or, I think a generic blue, generic red is fine. But having a slightly off shade of those colors, it's just a little bit friendlier to read. It's not as intense on the eyes. So I do recommend using off colors of colors like black and white. So for the colors here, we could go grab the colors, but what I would recommend is using a website called coolers.co. I love it. It's where I choose all of my, obviously after I speak with my client, I kind of gauge what it is they have. If they have a specific color scheme in mind, I'll use what they give me. If not, I like to come and use this generator to build something around their niche. You know, if it's more of a business that's trying to establish trust, I like to use blue, whites, shades like that. If it's a fitness or maybe a healthy living kind of blog or store where they're selling, you know, healthy food products, snacks, things like this, I like to use greens, yellows, and stuff like this. The importance of color in web design is something that we won't cover today, but I will in a future video, because I feel like as an amateur web designer, you might just choose colors that you like, and also that's nice. And again, hopefully, you know, these things will inspire you to keep moving forwards. You do want to structure in your colors as well. So for today, our color scheme actually lives on this website, so we don't need to start the generator. We can explore the trending palettes. Let's download, and the one that we use, let's see if you guys can see it before I choose it. I think maybe I've gone too far already, actually. I believe I've scrolled past it. It wasn't this low before. There it is. I got concerned for a second there. There it is. So we'll open this in a generator just so you can see what it looks like. Let this load in. Here you are, yeah, for all the colors. So the colors that we're using today is black. I know I just literally said don't use a straight black color, but within this scheme it's okay, where it's more of a background image and background color rather than anything else. Oxford blue, which is what we have the tint here, and the hover buttons. Obviously I can close this now. The orange web, so obviously the buttons and the title. Things like this. So you're probably thinking, okay, so why are you showing me the color scheme now? Well, when it comes to Elementor, you can change the colors quite easily. So text color, obviously, click on your text. This will take you here, style, text color. You can choose your colors quite easily. But if you have to do this every single time, as you can see, there's quite a bit of text on this page. Nothing crazy, but especially if you're building a bigger website, you're going to have more text. So this will really start to drag as you try and change everything individually. However, if you click here, you have something called global colors. So the default is this blue, like a charcoal kind of gray, slightly lighter gray, and an accent green color. So those, if you click those, boom, that'll change it. And this makes it so much easier instead of having to enter the same old code over and over and over again. So if we go back to our header section here, obviously we've gone into our site settings, and here you can actually see the global colors. So our primary color, which is the color, this one that we've used most, is probably the Oxford blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on here, hover this, these will appear. For now, we just want to copy the hex, put that here. This is already pre-selected, and then paste that. As you can see that I make a change. Sometimes this doesn't change the color of the box, but don't worry, as long as you can actually see a physical change on the site, that's all that matters. For secondary, what we use is, I feel like this is the Oxford web has been used quite a bit as well, so we'll copy that and have that as our secondary color. For the text, like I say, most of it is the platinum white color. So I'm going to copy that hex and put that here. And accent color is more for like links and things. So we're just going to have that as just a white, basically. So let's update that. Boom, that's done. Now what we can do is we can close this, and this will take us back to our header, which we were just building on. Okay, because it's a one-page website, you don't have a traditional navigation menu. So typically a navigation menu on a website that has multiple pages will take you to those pages. So obviously the first page you land on is your home page, whereas the about page will take us here. I didn't actually animate these, so in the finished version of the site that we're building together, once you click this, it will take us here, and you click this, it will take us here, etc., etc. So a navigational menu is a much nicer way of navigating a bigger website. that'll probably be something that we do in a future video. What I'm thinking is, so this can be the base of, obviously this is the first Elementor tutorial that I've created. This can be our basic website, and then together over time, as I release more videos, we can actually upgrade this video. So include a blog, include actual about pages, services pages, and a individual contact page as well, and anything else that you guys would like to see. So for now, we are going to keep it simple with the one page. So let's go build this header. So as you can see, we want to change the color of this. It's automatically gone to our Oxford blue because that is our primary color, but we're going to change it to the secondary. What you want to do is actually, let's add the, so to get the, oops, let's bring this here, to get the little animation and things like this, you don't want to create a normal heading like I have here. What you want to do is you want to grab the button and drag this in here. Obviously it's a little too close right now. Let's change the color just so we can see the background. So the first section we have is the about section. Oh my gosh. Is the about section. So we'll have that. Right now it doesn't lead to anything, but like I say, we'll get back to that a little later once we've created each of the sections. So for now, what we can do is we can just go on this little pencil, right click, copy. Actually, let's not do that right now. Let's change the hover style first and create that little animation. So if you clicked hover, so the normal is what you see here. The typography is robotic as well. Let's change this to pop ins real quick. So the normal is what you see when it's just normally set there, and the hover is what happens when you hover over it. So right now you can see nothing happens, but if we change it, there we go. So something like that. Obviously with our, because it is an invisible menu, you don't want your buttons to have a background color. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on normal, color, oops, not this section, this part here. And so obviously this is your color bar. This changes, as I'm sure you've seen if you use software like Photoshop and things like that. It's just your color wheel essentially. And this here is your opacity. So if you drag this all the way down to the other end, it will remove it. Just for editing purposes, I'll leave it open for now, but that's what you want to do once we finish. So for hover, right now it just changes to blue, but you can see here there is a hover animation. So if you open this up, you get a list of different kinds of animations. Lots of them are rubbish, if I'm being completely honest, but some of them are nice. I think the one that I chose was pop. Let's see. Yeah, it's pop. It's a subtle kind of animation, but it lets your user, the visitor, it lets them know that they've actually, they can actually interact with the link instead of it just being static font, which is something that you'll find it's very beneficial to your web design, is as long as you make things a little more interactive, the more the user, even if it's very subtle, the user is going to enjoy the experience of your website a lot more, which is obviously what you want, and it'll help convert the goal that you're looking for, so sales or clicks and things like this. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this pencil, right click, copy, paste, copy, paste, and now we have 3 buttons, right? So here we have about, services, and contacts. So what we'll do is we'll just click here and we'll change this to services. We'll click here and change this to, oh my gosh, you really do have to forgive my typing today, guys. I'm embarrassed, but yeah. So what you want to do is individually, you can see these are the column sections, right? So if we grab this and drag this to the right, this will bring it over here. Drag this to the right, this will bring it over here, a little bit closer, and you drag this, this will bring this over here as well. Obviously you want them close, you want the spacing to be as equal as possible. Again, the more time that you put into this, the more you can perfect it. This is just a quick tutorial. It might be over an hour long, but trust me, in web design, that is a quick tutorial. The more love that you put into it, the better your site will look. So yeah, for now, we're just gonna make it a little rougher than I would publish it or give it to a client. but the core thing here is learning the skills. So what we want to do now is we actually do want to go and make these backgrounds invisible. Yep, and we change the hover as well, so we make this invisible too. And then what we can do is you right click copy, and then for the other buttons, if you right click on them and click press style, that will make it the exact same as that, which is great. And we paste style. Now what you want to do, now that you've created the bulk of it, we'll make this slightly bigger just so it appears nice and big on the site. If you click typography rather, and then drag this, we'll probably make this about 40, about 42, I think is perfect. And now the menu is pretty much created, but if we were to save this on the site now, it would fill the space here, and it wouldn't cover this, so you don't have an invisible header just yet. So what you want to do to make it invisible is you want to click on this midsection here, edit section, where it says height, you want to go to minimum height and make this 120, okay? 120. And then what you want to do is you want to click on advanced, and then hit this, and then where it says margin, you want to press minus 120. And one last thing you want to do is whilst you're in this section is you want to change the color to nothing. So right now, as you can see, it's brought up the box, which would basically be our hero section in this case. As you can see, all the buttons are here and they pop and everything good like that. So what you want to do is you want to make this opacity 0 so that it's invisible and all the content is below it. So it overlaps, which reminds me actually, if we go in advanced, this Z index there is, I like to add it just as a safety. It's basically, think of it as a layer system. So I think it's 1 to 10, 10 being the frontmost layer and 1 being more of a background layer. This comes in as you start to get a little more creative and start to build slightly more complex websites. But for now, you just want to change it. We'll change it to 10 to make sure it is absolutely above everything. But that essentially brings your menu to the front of your website. And then you click publish. Now, on templates and pop-ups and things like this, this menu will come up once you click publish. And what you want to do is, depending on what kind of template it is, whether it's a single post, which is used for blogs, or if it's a menu like this, a footer, things like that, you want to add a condition. Here, the condition is already set once you click add condition, I believe. So yes, the entire site. Obviously, it's a one-page website, so the entire site is one page. But if we were creating a page, a website with multiple pages, this will show on every single page, which is perfect. Again, one of the mistakes that I made when I was starting off using Elementor and starting building websites was that I would just make the one header on one page and then copy and paste it onto the other pages. And that makes it a nightmare when you or your client wants something changed on the header, because then you have to go through every single page. And as I'm sure you can imagine, if there's 15, 20 pages, it's just a nightmare. So templates is the way to go. Hopefully you take this away from the tutorial, because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. It's frustrating and you'll be pulling your hair out for absolutely no reason. So what you want to do is you click save and close. Beautiful. Now if we go on here and refresh it, yes, we'll leave the page. What you should see is our menu. There we go. I think the spacing is slightly off, but once again, we're not here to perfect it. Maybe at the end of the tutorial, what we can do is we can perfect things slightly better, just so we can feel a lot happier about our website. As a designer, it hurts me a little bit. So yeah, what we'll do is at the end of this tutorial, we'll refine everything, and I'll probably create the templates for you to use in the link below. So, all right, what we want to do is if we look at our website, we've got the lose weight, which is obviously this little bit here. We've got the actual get a leaner body in 8 weeks, which is the text here and our buttons. So this text doesn't exist on our finished website. So what you want to do is you want to click this and delete. We don't need that. Now, as you can see, if we close this, everything is leaned to the left, right? And so if we change the alignment, it only goes so far. And so you're probably thinking, okay, Kieran, so why is that? Well, what you want to do is you want to click this little icon here. This is the column section. So if you click that and go in advanced, what we can see here is that the padding is off to the right. We won't go too much into padding and margin today, just because it is slightly, I know you're capable, but it is slightly more complex than it needs to be for this tutorial. So we won't go into that. But what you want to do is you want to remove this 30, okay? And as you can see, it's pushed everything across the way. So now what we can do is we can center this and we can type lose weight. And I'm just going to copy and paste everything just so it's a little bit quicker. I've done this earlier, so we don't need to do everything again. And then we paste that there, and we'll align this into the center as well. And for the text, we'll align this into the center as well. What did I put for this one? Seriously, hell yeah. So I'll type this up. Seriously, hell yeah. Okay. All right, so a quick little thing here. So first of all, let's add the icon at the end. As you can see, there's a little arrow that points down. To add that, what you want to do is you want to come onto in the edit button section. You'll see icon here. This allows you to upload SVG, and SVG is just a file type for the icons use. It's very small and it's great. But the best thing, one of the better things about Elementor is that it actually comes with a whole series of icons. So there are loads to choose from. For this, we just used arrow up, down, I think, rather. There we go. We'll click next, and as you can see, it's pushed it here, which is not what we want. So if you click on icon position, after, boom, there we go. It's pretty much this. So now what we want to do is change the color. So if we go in style, text color is fine, background color type. So you can have a gradient, so 2 colors split together, which I don't think works for this video, excuse me. So what we can do is we click this, the global colors icon, and we can see our most popular colors that we selected earlier. I don't think we want a border, do we? There is a slight blue border around it, yeah. So what we'll do is we click this and this, and then for the hover, we'll change the text color to the platinum white, and change the border color to the secondary color, and the color to the primary color. Let's change that to the primary color as well. So there we go. The hover animation, I think, is perfect. We don't really need to change that. But what I did want to show you is actually, as you can see, so in the final version, all of these are capital letters. And I know I could go in and just change this to a capital letter, but there is another way of doing it on Elementor. This is handy more for when you're creating templates for blogs and things. So if somebody types it lowercase, it will change it to uppercase and things like that. So this is just a neat little trick that you can use. So if you click on transform, uppercase makes it all uppercase, which we don't want. Lowercase obviously makes it all lowercase. But what we want is we want to use capitalized. So the first letter of each word is capitalized, like so. So that is absolutely perfect. So to change this, if we go up, it's going to come up edit header, right? So you're not going to be able to edit this section here. But if you right click, you can in fact edit the section. So what we want to do now is we want to add, so we want to add the background image, but as you can see, the background image changes every few seconds. So the way that we create this in Elementor is to go again, edit the section. This will take you here. As you can see, this is our background image. But what you want to do is where it says background type, you have a gradient, a video, which you can import from YouTube, which makes your website look really cool. I like that effect. But for this website, we're going to click slideshow. Now, slideshow allows you to upload multiple images. Here are the images that we've got on our site already. This is the favicon icon here, and this is the plant that we have. That was the original background here. So for now, what we're going to do is we don't need this image anymore. So we're going to delete this permanently, okay? And now we're going to upload some files. So as I said before, all these files will be available to download in the link below. So grab this, and we'll grab these as well. Choose for upload. So yeah, you can create this website along with me. As you'll find, each of these, it may take a little longer if you upload all the pictures at one time. So if you do it individually, it is actually a little bit quicker, which which sucks a little bit. But once one of these uploads, what I can do is I can show you. So the Resmush plugin that we downloaded earlier is at work here. So originally this was 377 KB, which isn't a very big file anyway, but it has been reduced by 56 KB. This just makes it less taxing on your website server. So I've spoken about the importance of hosting before, and I'll speak about it again, because if you have rubbish hosting, anything that you upload to your website is just going to be slow and sluggish, and obviously that's not something that you want from your website. That's not something your visitors want from your website. So if there's something that you're going to invest in early, I would recommend good hosting. It will definitely hold you in good stead throughout your web design journey. Obviously, I know you're a beginner, so again, you might not want to throw down a lot of money on hosting. I actually use Kingstar. I think for a one website package, it's $30. Which is not very much. You get a free demo. My link for it is in the section the box down below. I'm not too sure what that box is called yet, so so I've called it a few different things, but we'll call it the magical box. So the magical box down below, there is a link there, and you can get a free demo for that, which will show you just the extent that can benefit you, basically. All right, so all our images are uploaded. They're all checked. So what we're going to do is just click Create New Gallery. Captions and things like this are important, more for SEO purposes. That's not something that we're going to cover in this video, but do keep that in mind. Insert gallery. So as you can see, if we just let this sit, it should change. There we go. So what we're going to do real quick is we're just going to change this to a brighter, the platinum color, so we can use that. So now let's go back into the section. So on the finished website, you're probably thinking, okay, well, it looks a little different and it moves a little faster. So the way that we accomplish this is during the duration, instead of making it, these are milliseconds, by the way, so do keep that in mind when you do this. So 500 milliseconds would be like, actually, let's check that, because you don't want that. That's changing super quickly. Yeah, that's not what you want. So I would recommend probably on the site that I created earlier, 3000 milliseconds. It's enough time for the visitor to actually see the image and to keep their attention, basically, and it changes fairly quickly. So the transition is the fade. I like the fade. You do have the other versions to check out the swipe up. These are okay, but I prefer the, personally, obviously you might prefer something different, but for me personally, I prefer the fades. The hover is not something that we want to get into or anything like this in this video. Infinite loop, obviously if you don't want it looping over and over, turn this off. So what we're going to do is close the backgrounds, and we're going to add this blue overlay on it. So what you want to do is, once you close the background, you'll see background overlay, classic color. What we'll do is we'll change it to Oxford blue, and as you can see, this blue here is a lot deeper, and all that is to do with is the opacity. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the opacity up, so about 85 maybe. I think that looks good. Yeah, I think that looks good. So we'll leave it there. And now that is essentially our hero section created. What we're going to do here is the link. So we're going to change this. So normally if you have a button that leads off to a different page, you would just type in the URL for that page, you know, whether that's the about, services and contact pages or something entirely different. But because it's a one-page website, everything needs to essentially take you to the section below, or as the menu up top will take you to the section that it requires. So to do that, what you want to do is you want to change this link to the next section is about. So we're just going to type about, and we'll leave that for now. Keep that in your mind. We'll change that once we finish the about section, but it is yeah, you'll see in a minute. So what we do is now we're going to create the about section. So you click blogs, you can type about in the corner here. I believe, let's see what one we used. All right, I believe the one that we used is this one. So we'll import that. And then real quick, what I'll do is in the edit section, so again, clicking this button here, or right clicking and click edit section, you go into advanced, and where it says CSS ID, if you type in about with no hashtag, and then click off that, and we click this button here now, that will bring us straight down, which is what we're going to repeat in our header once we've created these sections. And that's you can use that for anything on your one-page website. It's a great way of, again, having a nice little interactive section for your visitors. It makes your website look more professional, and obviously the further you can lead your visitor through the website, the more likely they are to take action, which is exactly what you want. So let's go down. What do we have? So why train with us? We'll change this here, and we'll copy this here as well. And so right now, it's obviously the background is a bright white. We don't want that. So if you click the edit section, style, background type, global colors, primary, right? And then what we can do is we can change these individually as well. So now you're starting to understand how annoying it would have been if we would have had to go in and do this over and over and over again. But having them, it's just kind of like a palette, you know, if you paint or draw or anything like this, instead of having to constantly create the color, just having it in your palette just to pick off and paint is ideal. So that's what we've got here. We can change, I might change the global font in the refined stage of the site, so at the end of the video, just so everything's a lot more seamless, so we have pop-ins throughout instead of Roboto or whatever else fonts these templates import. I'll change this to this, and what did I put here? Get started now. Wonderful. See, this is all capital already. So if you look in our typography, you can see the transform is uppercase. We'll leave that. I think that looks fine. But what we'll do is we'll change the, oh, not that. That's not what we wanted to do. Just change that to opacity. So the text color is what we want to change, and the border color. So the border is always on the border type. You can switch it off here, because the width is literally 1 at the bottom. That just means that, let's change the color so you can see it a bit better. That just means that you'll have this one singular line. Change it to white. Okay, so change that text color, we'll have it to platinum, and the border color to platinum as well. So once you hover on that, that'll change over, which again is an interactive thing. So that's the about section right there. I think I changed the width of it a little bit later when I did the section here. So for the services section, what I did is I created a header for it separately. So we create the header and we'll center it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some padding, just to bring it down. Spacing is very important in web building. You don't want everything cluttered, and you don't want everything so wide apart as well. So again, in the refining stages, we can do that together. So for now, let's just create the section here. So our 8-week personal training service includes, I mostly build fitness niche websites anyway. It's kind of my targeted domain. So whilst my sites don't look exactly like this, I do enjoy working with people in the fitness industry and building websites that actually help them get clients and transform people's physical life. All right, so we've got this for now. This is fine. What we'll do is we'll change the backgrounds to the Oxford blue as well, and we'll change the text to the platinum white, like so. And then we're going to import services. So I believe the one I use here is I believe it's a 2-box section, and then I just duplicated it. So let's check that out to make sure that is the case. So type in services. Yeah, I believe it's this one here actually. Yeah, we're gonna go with it anyway. So let that import. Hopefully it is the right one. The library has lots of different options, so even if you see me choosing these ones, please do feel free to choose something that you would like to use yourself. Obviously, this is more of a point of reference, I guess. Choose image boxes. Right. All right, I remember. Okay, my bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this, and then we're going to click the ads, the 2 columns, right? And then we're going to go on the 9 boxes up here, and then click. We're going to search for icon box. So let's grab that, and then we'll copy and paste that there. And if you go to this section here and duplicate, boom, there we go. So that's why we have it. That's why I had to space it out and everything. So for now, we're going to change, we'll change the icons here and all the colors here, and then we'll copy and paste the style across the boards. So for our first icon, we have a leaf, just because it's a reference to diet. Obviously, veggies are important in your diet, so that's why that's there. So we click style. What we do is, I believe we're going to make the background of these Oxford blue as well. Just dark theme is so much more popular now, and it's actually my preference, as I'm sure you can see by my screen. I like the dark themes, so having lots of white space is not something I enjoy on not all websites, but on the websites I develop at least. So what we want to do now is change this color. So on the icon, primary, obviously we're going to click that. Oops, don't click that. So click content. The title we can change to platinum white, or just platinum, and the description would have as platinum as well. Again, it's not too much of a visible change, but it does make a difference. The small things, I feel like in web design especially, small things really do make the difference. So now we're happy with this. We can change the hover. I did it to green just because of, obviously, I wanted it to look like a veggie. So what we do is we just go grab like a lime green. There we go. And now what we do is we click the little pencil on the top right again, copy, paste style, paste style, paste style. And what you'll see is it doesn't actually copy the icon, just the style of it. So it's just the spacing and the colors and the fonts that you use. Those are the only things that changes. Everything else you'll have to do yourself, which is good. Especially when you're building different types of websites, you don't want everything copied. If you want it copied like that, you just copy and paste. Alrighty, so what we do is let's copy over the text from my site. Change the heading. All of this will be available for you guys to download using my link below. I'm probably gonna upload it to Dropbox for you guys, just so you can, you know, you can either build the site using the video, or you can deconstruct it in your own time. I think either way, the more you play around with Elementor, the more you're going to learn anyway, which is obviously ideal. That's what you guys are here for. I want you to get better at web design, and with anything, practice makes perfect. So do keep that up. What I'll do is, once I've got these down, I'll change the icons, and then we'll move on to our call to action section there. Last one-on-one training. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what kind of site you would like to see me build next. What kind of projects you're working on, or what is your dream project? Because I know everybody has different things. I like working on my personal interests, so video games and anime and, you know, things like pop culture and things like this, I guess. As I said before, I am interested. I enjoy working out, so I do enjoy building fitness-based websites for my clients, but I've worked on so many different types of websites at this stage, so I would love to share what I've learned with you guys more and more. I'm thinking what I might create next is an e-commerce tutorial. So if that is something that you'd like to see, please do let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and get that out for you guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change the icons. So right here we have a dumbbell. Super easy with the Elementor icon library. What was the other one? I was a scale, weight, and a stopwatch. Thank you, Apple. Right now, because we copied and pasted the style, they do all hover green. Maybe once we come back to it to refine everything, I might change these individually, but for now we're going to move on. So again, we're going to click this, and this time, as I said before, we want this simple call to action. Right now, so once you click this, it pops up with a phone number when you're free, so you can choose the date and the time. There we go. And then you can book that session. And let it go. And that what that will do is that will send to the email that you set up the website for, or you can send it to a different website entirely, to a different email entirely, rather. Excuse me. So we'll close that down. And what we'll do is we'll create this. That is actually a pop-up function, so that's something that we'll create after we finish the page. But pop-up functions are great for many different reasons. If you check out my, there it is. If you check out my website, you can actually see that my menu has been created using a pop-up section. So yeah, there's many different uses for it. So let's go to call to action. I believe the one that we used was this one here. Super simple, nothing flash or anything like that. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of padding off the top, so we can make that. Ooh, not that much padding off the top, and some off the bottom as well. There we go. Again, spacing is important in web design. That's not something that we're going to cover too much here, but do keep that in mind. So now we'll change all the text, and we'll change that button in a second. So what do we have? Still not sure we're right for you. So call to actions, again, I know I spoke about it previously, but it is just a reminder for your client, for your potential clients or customers to take action on your site. So even though there is a contact section at the bottom of this page, having this here, you're offering something free, it just drives the visitor to want to interact with your site and, bring you more business, which is obviously the goal for pretty much every website on the internet. We don't want this uppercase. We're going to have this default, and then we'll just leave the free in caps. And I think that's fine. Obviously, once there's a bit more to the site, it won't cut off so abruptly. And then, we change the button here. So it's book free today. We keep that nice and simple. Book free today, and we'll change the colors like we have been on the other ones. So we want that platinum white, and the backgrounds actually, let's make that all the way white, and the hover is so we add a solid border all the way. If you uncheck this, that's where you can get the line at the bottom like we do up here, but since they're all linked together, we'll just get a border all the way around, and we'll change that to we'll change the border hover to gold, and we'll have it gold regularly as well. And when it changes, we'll change it to blue, and we'll leave the text color as white, so we get that the exact same as we have here. Okay, that's fine. I was just making sure it wasn't too far over to the right, because this one's nice and away from the sides. So the section we have after this is our testimonial section. Again, we're just going to import this and make some changes to it. Testimonials, I believe I used this one here. Let's just double check here. Yeah, I believe I used this one here. So let's import that. Let that bring it in. And then once we finish this page, we'll change the header to make sure every button takes us to the correct spot. We'll create the pop-up for the contact us for the free trial. And that's pretty much everything. So what we're going to do is, first of all, let's change the color of this. So we change this to blue, Oxford blue. We change the text from customer reviews to hear our clients out. Obviously, the more personal you can be in your website, the more. I feel there's so many websites that don't let the actual creator's personality bleed through, which is a shame, because in web design you can really express yourself. And so to have obviously, if you're working with corporate businesses and things, it makes sense. But if you're building a personal website, I really do think it's nice to kind of let your personality show a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the images. And even though these are testimonials, if you are starting a website or your own web design site and things like this, please make sure that your testimonials are legit. There's nothing worse than having fake reviews for anything, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, so this is super simple. I know I kind of just done it, but click the text here, remove the image. We'll just copy the text from the one I created earlier, and we'll travel them across. We get rid of these. I love that the names that are imported already are Adam Sandler, Mila Kunis, and Mike Sandler. I like that. So to change the name, what you want to do in the edit testimonial section is you want to go down here and you see name title. I don't think I had titles. Oh, I did have titles for them. Let's copy these across as well. So we've got Leonidas. We'll change that there, and underneath Spartan King. Okay, we'll just do it back to, oh gosh. Oh, bear with me, guys. That's not what I said. I said Bruce. Damn it. Bruce Wayne. Oh, gosh. Totally not Batman. All right, and then in the middle we have Goku, who's definitely a part-time god. And then we've got Leonidas, which I definitely don't want to mess up the spelling for, so I won't. King. All right, and then what we're going to do is we go in style. So the content is essentially the text in the testimonial boxes. So we'll just change that to the slightly off-white, and I think everything else there is fine. We might change there. So for this, the text is bold, that's not a problem, but I want it just a little bit thinner. So if you look on the weight of it, basically the higher the weight, the thicker it is. So if we click on 900, it's going to be proper bold. But if we click on, say, 300, it's going to be nice and thin. I think for us, we're probably going to go for about 500s. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So going back to the edit section here, so in the testimonial style, we've done that. So now to create to change the color of here, just click on name, secondary, and we can do that for the title as well, because I believe, oh, I kept that platinum 2. Everything's center aligned just because, are these center aligned? Yeah, these are center aligned. I don't actually like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to align it to the left. And we'll just paste the style across. Again, keeping it super easy. You have to remember, things that are center aligned don't always look too great. So this website, in this video, we're not going to optimize it for mobile, which is something that you most definitely want to do. I'm going to do a separate video on that using this website, just because we're going to have to recreate the type of menu and things. So, and I don't want this video to be too long, but the next video that I release will probably be optimizing this website right here for mobile, which is, I believe 86% of users of just the whole internet is mobile. And that number actually increases for people between the ages of 16 and 21. So no matter what site you're building, you need to make sure that it's optimized for mobile. So we will definitely have a video dedicated to that soon. Alrighty, so the last section is the contact section. This here is super easy to make. Again, we're just gonna import the contact section here, and I believe the one we used was this one right here. So we'll import that. Super quick. We don't need these. If you have a physical location for your business, I do recommend putting that in. Obviously, phone numbers and contact information is also very good. These are things that these are kind of subtle call to action. So if a client, like a potential client sees your number on their screen, they might actually pick up and call you, and that's a great way to get business, obviously. Boom. So we click blue here, change this to blue as well. We'll change this to platinum. We'll change this to platinum 2. I don't believe I changed too much. Yeah, start your fitness journey one step at a time, and I put my information in there as the default, which I'll show you how to do in 1 second. So let's start your fitness journey one step at a time. So what we'll do is, first of all, let me show you how to create to change the map rather. So literally just click the pencil on the top right, and enter your address. I'm just going to keep it real simple. I'm just going to keep it London, as I'm sure you can tell I'm from. And that takes us near Trafalgar Square, so very nice. The zoom is how how close up you want it to be, which is great. I don't think you can get street view on here. Well, you can if you click here, but you don't get a default street view, I guess. So what we'll do is we'll bring that back up to 16. That's perfect. And the height is just how big you want the map to be. Since it is the bottom of your website, I don't recommend having it too big. That's probably fine. And if somebody wanted to, it's like completely interactive, so you don't need to worry about anything like that. Once you set the location, it pretty much does the rest for you, which is great. And so to edit this here, what we want to do is just change the form name. The form name is when you receive an email saying that somebody has contacted you, you will see the form name. So it might be something, you should probably change it to something that you want, something that you'll recognize, basically. So we'll just do contact form. Oh my gosh, contact form YT. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we've got the, we don't need them to leave a message. It's more of an inquiry. So we'll remove that and we'll change that with, I still recommend text, just because if you change it to number, obviously there's a whole list of things that you can change it to. Telephone. Okay, we can change it to telephone. Usually I tried putting it on number before, and yeah, it isn't great. So yeah, I must have missed that when I was building earlier today. So so telephone, which would be great. And then we can just put phone number in the label, so we know it up here, and the placeholder can be 0800s 1066, right? I believe that's an insurance company or something like that. It's not my number, so don't ring it. And for the placeholder, we're just going to have, so I'll just use my website, my personal email. Actually, let's not use my personal email, you guys are wild. So .co.uk, and at the top we'll just put S. If you do have any questions and you want to contact me directly, do feel free to use that email. But yeah, and so to change the button, click button here. Actually, we don't want to change nothing about the button itself. It's actually fine. I think we can click submit instead of send message. I left it send message, but I prefer submit or something like that. Maybe start your journey. Let's change it to start your journey. Again, the more personal you can make the website, the more unique and less stiff, I guess, you can make it, the better the results might actually be. We don't need an icon, so what we'll do now is we'll just change the button. So all of this, actually, yeah, let's change this here. So the label, we're not using labels, so all of this is fine. Obviously, you can, spread these out or have them closer. I do think a nice little gap is fine, so we'll just change that to 10. Columns gap is if it was side by side, which none of this is, so that won't change anything. The field is what you actually type in. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the text to platinum, and then the background color to Oxford blue, which is very nice. And we'll leave the, we can change this to platinum to the border, which is nice. I don't recommend, you can remove the border. Actually, do you know what? Let's just have one line at the bottom of it. And yeah, so it'll look like that. That's not too bad. I kind of like that, actually. For name, let me just type it all the way in, otherwise it looks like it was half done. All right, so fields, yeah, we've changed that. Now what we're going to do is change the button. So the background color we can have as the gold. Again, your brighter color should be used for things where you want to draw your user's eye to. So having it the same as the, an Oxford blue or something like this is not going to quite attract the attention. So even if we go to the top of the site, we have our business's name in the orange, which is nice and bright, and then the next bright color that we have on the website is the call to action, which is essentially just getting your visitor to go further into your website, which is what you want. And then we change the hover. I believe the hover's, it's just a simple platinum white. So let's click on this button, hover, change that. I hate this awful green, that's the standard for it. And we'll change the text color to the Oxford blue. So it looks like that one hovering, which is perfect. So that's pretty much that section done. What I do recommend actually is on messages, change these colors too. So if you submit your form, in another video, I'll show you how to make a dedicated thank you page, which I like to use on some of my websites. It's nice. So once they submit a form, it takes them to a page that basically says, thank you for submitting the form. We'll be in contact with you shortly, something along the lines of that. So with this, it's a default, it just comes up, the form has been submitted, which is fine. It at least knows, it at least tells your visitor that they have taken action and that, they've submitted the form. So you will be in contact with them soon. Otherwise, if you submit it and nothing happens, your visitor might get a little confused and not understand if anything's changed. We'll change the error message into gold and the inline message I don't believe we need. And so pretty much, we're almost complete on the bulk of the website. Like I say, I will refine some areas at the end of the video. So we'll add a little more space in here and maybe a little more space in between here and here as well. I might remove the borders here. Did I remove them on here? Yeah, I think I may have actually used a different template on the other one, but that's okay. I'll just change I don't like the basic borders that's used here. And so last but not least, for sure, on this page is the footer. So I like to keep the footer area, at least on a one-page website, quite simple. You don't need anything crazy. Obviously, these are great for bigger websites and websites that have, loads of different pages. You can scroll to the bottom. If I show you one of my clients' websites, I actually created an expansive little footer for him as well. Nothing too crazy, but it links to the other websites that I've built for him, as well as the other pages on the site, which is great. So they can definitely be useful, but for a one-page website, because you don't have any more pages, it's not really, it doesn't make too much sense to have a big footer. So this one is real simple, just says made with Elementor. So what we'll do is I'll just change it to the text that I got here, designed and developed by KGStudio. So if you're building this for your client, do discuss this with them. Ask if you can have your business name at the bottom of their website, which is great, just because sometimes a visitor will go on somebody's website, be like, oh, this is a good website. I would like a good website like this, and you can actually get referrals that way, I guess, leads that way, which is perfect. That is what you want. Oops. So I thought it was editing the text, my bad. So we're going to change the section to Oxford blue, and then we'll change the text to platinum. What I'll do as well is I will add the link kgstudio.co.uk. So if somebody clicks this section here, it will take them to my website. And over here you have the social links. Social links are super easy to set up. Let's change the color so you can actually see them. The primary color is the box around it, so you don't want to change the primary color here. What you want to do is change the secondary color, so just the icon changes. And the icon hover will have, again, let's not do that again, we'll have the secondary color. So see, as I was saying earlier, sometimes the box doesn't change, but the actual color does. So you don't need to worry about that. So if we close that, I'm going to get rid of this horrible dotted border. We don't want that. But yeah, as you can see, all those work. I don't think anybody uses Google Plus anymore. But you know, these are super easy to change. So let's change it to Instagram. Oh my gosh, come on. Instagram. So this, you know, super popular. So whatever your social media is, if you're doing this for somebody else, make sure that the social links are obviously for them and not for your own website. That is incredibly cheeky and a little unprofessional, so don't do that. But do try and get your name in the footer. It is nice. All right, so we're going to get rid of this border because I can't stand it. So what you want to do is, obviously you click the section you might be taking here, click style, close the backgrounds, go onto the border. As you can see, border type dotted, no thank you. But there we go, beautiful. So now we pretty much have the entirety of the site done, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to create tags for all of the sections so that the links on our menu will take us down. So super easy to do. I showed you it earlier. So click on this section. So this is the contact section. Go on advanced, CSS ID, change that to contact, and click off. We don't have a section for testimonials, so we won't put that there. And this is the section for services, so we'll put that there. Put it at the absolute top, because when the page scrolls, it usually scrolls, it usually brings that section to the top of the page, so everything underneath it will be visible. And yeah, I think that's fine. We did the about section already, didn't we? We did. So now this whole thing is ready to be published. What we'll do is we'll create the pop-up for this after I change the menu, and then we'll just go through and tweak a couple of the things, and then that's a wrap on the video basically. So as you can see, that take me to my website. Once you click on it, okay, so now what you want to do is just click publish. There are a few other things that we have to do because if we typed in just the main URL, it wouldn't actually come up with the page. It will show you this, so I'll show you how to sort that out in a second as well. So let's go into our header. Here we have I believe this is the about. So what you want to do is change that to hashtag about, and let's change all of them. And then services, core services. It is important that if you did use a capital letter at the beginning of them, use a capital letter as well, otherwise it won't recognize it, okay? Contact, and then we'll update this. And then we'll go here and we'll refresh this. And now if you press services, as you can see, it'll take you down to the services. If you press contact, it'll take you down to the contact, etc., 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 which is perfect. So now the bulk of your one-page website is complete. So what we'll do now is we'll create the pop-up that we have on this page. I'm going to remove this as well. I don't like that. We'll create this. We'll edit some of the spacing on the site. And we'll make it that when you actually click on the domain, it takes you, that is the first page that you see. Alrighty, so what we can do is we can close down the header. We are finished with that. That's a wrap. I will say this though, the header and the footer think of them in the same way in terms of the build. So just because I imported the template at the bottom here, it is a one-page website, so it doesn't really matter too much. But if it was a website that had multiple pages, I would recommend creating a template and having that displayed across the entire site, so you don't have to keep changing it on the pages individually. I told you that is a terrible waste of time, something that I'm very guilty of. So yeah, you don't want that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create this pop-up here. So what you want to do is go to just underneath Elementor templates, and as you can see, pop-ups, and then we'll add new pop-up. We'll just say free session. Let that load in. They have Elementor have loads of templates on this again. So what we'll do is we're going to, I did choose one because not many of them replicable. I think I chose this one here actually. So let's, we're just going to copy the text from this one. So as you can see, the pop-up is here. Don't worry about the background. The background is just, it's just showing you what it will look like on your website basically. So this will come to the front of the screen. So book your free session. Oops, we don't need telephone number there. Come on guys. We remove this. We want to keep this super simple for your, we can remove this as well. This is a spacer. This is a slightly older feature in Elementor that isn't used as much as it used to be. And it doesn't really negatively impact your website, but it can slow it down just a little bit because it's in the code. It's just a little more to read than it needs to be. So we'll remove that. But as I was saying, yeah, you want to keep it real simple, so don't overclutter it and make it difficult for you to get the information that you want from your client, from your visitor rather. So what we're going to do is I don't believe we have an email. Yeah, we don't want an email. This is not a free ebook either. This is free. Damn it. Free session. There we go. So all of them are text. Well, actually, no, just the phone number is text. So we put phone number there. Phone number. We'll change the colors and such afterwards. And what you want to do is you want to add another one. So this time, obviously, we're asking for when are you free, so they can choose a date to come in and get their personal training. So what you want to do is you click, literally open up the box and click dates. Label, we'll just put date here. So the label is, if you have label on the actual form, it will come up in top instead of you can have a label instead of a placeholder. I personally don't like having a label at the top of the form. So where it says phone number here, you could have like, excuse me, you could have like phone number written here instead. And for me, I personally don't like that stylistically, so I just like to have the placeholder. So for the date, for the placeholder, we put when are you free? Question mark, and then when they click on that, it's automatically done, so they can choose like this. And now what we want is, what did I put for the other one? For what time? Time. Time, and then we'll change that from text to time, and obviously if it's required, that means I will make these all required. Actually, that means that the visitor can't submit an empty form. Basically, it'll say, well, you have to, actually I think, yes, it will prompt them to fill it out entirely, which is great. That's what you want. So now that's pretty much the whole form filled. So now we just change it, we'll change the colors. So first and foremost, let's change the back of this. Primary, I know you guys know how to do it now, so I'm moving a little bit quicker. And now to change this again, we want to close down the form, open up the field. The text color will make platinum. The border color, which is just the line at the bottom, we'll make that the orange web gold, as I like to refer it to, even though it's not. And for the columns, as you can see, if we close this here, oh, actually, I'll change the button in 1 second as well. But the I don't like these white lines, so this is probably style border. Yeah, this is a border thing, so let's just remove the border, and then that goes. That's much neater. And then so yeah, let's change the button as well. So we're going to make the button the orange web, the gold. Yep, just this one, sorry, took me a second there. Sign up, text color, boom, border color will have that gold as well. And then on hover we'll have it go platinum, so we'll change the text color to Oxford blue, and the border color can be gold still, so it looks like that. A simple hover, obviously it's a pop-up, so you don't want too much animation on it or whatever. And again, in keeping in line, change the success and error messages. Make that platinum. So once you submit this, so 0800 1066 free here, 1125, and the form was sent successfully, which is good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change this. As you can see, there's just a simple X icon. We're going to be a little bit cheeky here and remove the background color and just keep it real simple. I don't think this has a border, does it? No. And we'll keep it real simple here, so the customer can just click off. I think for the hover, we'll change it to the orange and just leave it like that, so it's super clear. You don't want to pressure anybody into not being able to click off. There's nothing worse than a pop-up that you don't know how to click off of. Lucky enough, it's super easy to make pop-ups in Elementor, so even if you click off the pop-up, it'll close. All right, so with that done, now what we do is we click publish, and now it'll bring up the conditions box, right? So what you want to do is you just want to go and click save and close, and I'll show you why. So that's saved, beautiful. Now we go back into home, we'll refresh this. And now we'll scroll down to our button here, click it. And in link, what you want to do is you want to come down to this box, go all the way, not this one, but this one, dynamic tags. Open that and you'll be met with a whole list of things. What you want to do is you want to come down to actions, pop-up, and then once that's applied, you want to choose your pop-up. So click this box, all, and then remember what we called it. We called it free session. So just type that in, it should come up. Boom. So now when we press that button, let's update it first. And not everything shows in the preview, so what we'll do is we'll open this page, scroll down, and when you click this, the pop-up will come up and you can enter your information and sign up, which is great. So we'll close that, and that is, we've edited the menu, so everything takes you down to where you want to go. So that is pretty much your one-page website. What we're going to do now is we're just going to refine a few areas. And before I forget, actually, so if we check this out here, as you can see, it's demo2.co.uk. Obviously, this would be your domain. But if we go like this, which is how you find most domains, it comes up with that. And so you're probably thinking, okay, Kieran, well, that's not what I want. What do we do? Let me show you. So you go on your dashboard. You'll be met here. And what you want to do is you want to go down to settings. I believe it's reading. And then you want to click a static page. And for your home page, click home. Post page is when, if you have a blog, that's where your posts will go. Obviously, we don't have that here, so it's not too relevant for us right now. So now, if we click visit site and open the link. Okay, there we go. Perfect example, right? So we just changed that. What we want to do is we want to clear the cache. So if we do that, perfect. I'm glad I got to demo that plugin on this tutorial, because it is very, very important to have on your site. So that is pretty much the entirety of the site. What we can do is what else? Okay, yes. So when we first visited the site, we met with the GDPR, right? So let's go back to the dashboard. So here, if you click on settings, we'll open pages as well, because I just want to try something too. So we'll enable the cookie bar, but what we want to do is all of these things are fine, but we want to customize it, right? So it's the actual colors that we use. So the cookie bar color can be the same shade of, unfortunately, you can't access the global settings via this. So what we'll do is we'll have it the same Oxford blue. The text color we'll make platinum, like the rest of the text on the site, and paste that. And we'll have it as a banner at the bottom of the website. You can have it at the top. Obviously, there's options for you there, but I don't like it as much. Default font, yeah, okay, we'll leave it default. And we'll update those settings. So now when you first visit a website, it should show. So if we click that, oops, let that load. As you can see, it shows at the bottom down here. Just accept that, and that's fine. Close that down, take us back here. So that's pretty much the one-page website. Like I say, what we'll do now is we're quickly just going to refine it a little bit. Let me just click edit. Here, I just want to check something real quick. Okay. Okay, all right. So yeah, so what we want to do is we just want to refine it a little bit. So we click here, edit with Elementor. And we're just going to add some spacing and everything. So I think for here we want a little bit of spacing at the bottom. So if we click this, as you can see, there's already spacing at the bottom, but we're going to increase that by a little bit, and maybe a little bit on the top as well. So there's actually a little bit of space when scrolling down. The space between here and here is way too close, so we're going to add some. So unlink this, and we're going to add some spacing at the bottom as well. So let's see what 50 looks like. That's actually not too bad. I think let's make the text just a little bit bigger, and the spacing between these are fine because it's a service block. You kind of want it together. I think the service in here is fine. I'm going to change the border color of these so it fits the site a little bit better. There we go. See, this stands out a lot better. And we'll just copy, paste style, and I like everything here too, so we're just going to update that. And there you guys have it. It is, let's view the page. And there you guys have it. It is basically a fully complete one-page niche, fitness niche website. So I think it looks great. Like I say, it's a simple page, but hopefully you've learned some skills during this tutorial that you'll be able to apply to your own projects. I hope it has helped, and honestly, if there's anything that you're looking to learn, please let me know in the comments below, and I will make a video just for you guys. This is my first tutorial, so if there are any tips that you think, maybe if I went too quickly, or if there's anything that I could do better, please do let me know as well. I want to make the videos the absolute best that I can for you guys. I want to teach you and really start to make your web design journey not only easier, but actually doable, so to get you into the industry and have you build in professional websites for yourself, for clients, and yeah, man, just helping you guys with just helping you guys with your websites, basically. So please let me know. I think the next video that I'll do be about optimizing this website for mobile. Again, that is incredibly important. I just don't want this video to go on for too long. So that is definitely something that I will do next. And after that, I'm definitely open to ideas. I'm considering an e-commerce tutorial. So building your own online store, that can be time consuming and quite difficult, but I'll try and make it as easy as possible for you guys, so you can do that. But all right, I'm going to stop talking. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, it helps me out greatly. Use my links in the magical box below, that also benefits me. Those are affiliate links, so I do earn some money from it, but it'll just get thrown back into making videos for you guys. So yeah, please definitely do that, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Peace, guys. Thank you.